What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the Japanese supercar that no one buys. In fact, this car came in as the fourth worst selling car. And we're going to talk about why this car is so amazing and also why people don't buy it. And thirdly, if I would actually get this car. So the car that we're going to be talking about today is the 2018 Lexus LC500. And I want you guys to hear this exhaust note. This is a completely stock exhaust on the Lexus LC500, which is absolutely insane. But what I'm about to show you guys and tell you guys about this car will absolutely blow your mind. So the first model of this car came out in 2018 and it has a 0 to 60 of around 4.4 seconds. It has about the same 0 to 60 as my car, which is a Lexus RCF, and it has 471 horsepower. And the crazy thing about the LC500 is that it weighs 4,300 to 4,500 pounds, which is very heavy for a sports car. And I'm actually quite surprised. The RCF that I'm in right now weighs around 3,900 pounds, and even though the LC500 weighs around 400 to 500 pounds more, in terms of speed, they're about the same. And when you just look at the outside of this car, it screams a supercar, screams something exotic, right? And you look at the headlights, they have an amazing and sharp look to them. You don't see them on any other type of car. And then when you go back to the back end of the car, the tail lights, you get like this infinity tail light. Like it just keeps going. It's like a little mirror in there, but it looks crazy. And it is super unique to the LC500, which is why I think this car stands out so much. And if you were to put this car next to a Lexus LFA, people that don't know that much about Lexus will think that they're pretty similar cars. And I've compared both these cars in person before, and I can tell you right now, the interior of the Lexus LC500 is 100 times better than the LFA. Although the LFA has 2 more cylinders because it has a V10 and sounds a whole lot better, I still do think that the LC500 beats it in some areas. I mean, just look at the interior of the LC500. It looks like you're just sitting in a spaceship. It has amazing stitching on it. Lexus just never fails us when it comes to creating amazing designs for the seats. The steering wheel actually looks pretty futuristic. The paddle shifters are in a great location. You have the dash, everything is comfortably placed. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the interior of the LC500 actually looks a lot better than other supercars out there. And the V8 in the LC500 is the exact same one that you find in all F model cars. But I do believe the one in the LC500 is a little bit more refined and more aggressive. Not to mention, when they created this car, it's supposed to be a grand touring car. You can get it in a convertible, and what's even cooler out there is that they actually created Liberty Walk kits for the LC500. When you look at this car, you put a wide body kit on, you put it on air suspension, it looks absolutely insane. But the big question here is, why don't people buy this car? Why is it a car that is one of the worst selling in the world and one that simply just sits on the lot? Well, here's the thing. Lexuses in general aren't really known for their speed. They aren't really known for sports cars. So when you think of a supercar or something that's fast, you automatically think of European cars like BMW, Porsche, Mercedes. They, time and time again, have produced some amazing cars. But when you think of Lexus, all you really think about is a 6-year-old guy that has just retired and wants to dump some of his retirement money into a nice car. So you don't think of a literal spaceship, which is what the LC500 is. Not to mention too, if you wanted to get a 2024 model, you're going to be spending over $100,000, which is crazy. And if you wanted to get a 2018 model, I've seen them go as low as $55,000, which honestly isn't that bad for how good this car looks. But if you wanted to get something fast that had a sub 4 second 0 to 60 time, something that has a lot more horsepower, then it makes sense to go for something like a BMW M3 or M4 from 2015. You can get them for around the same price range, but there's a lot more performance potential. And you also have to remember too that the people that buy these LC500s are not really primarily looking for speed. They're looking for reliability and looks. I would say speed is one of the last things that they're worried about. They just want something that's comfortable, that's going to be reliable and not going to break down on them. And if it sounds great and is decently fast, then that's all they can ask for. And I mean, whenever somebody wants to buy something fancy or wants to show off, they're always going to get a Mercedes or BMW. But I do believe that if you want to be different and stand out a bit, getting an LC500 might be a great choice. In addition to this too, for that same price range, let's say you wanted to spend $60,000 to $70,000, you can get a Nissan GTR, which is a turboed V6, makes a lot more horsepower and is a lot more infamous. It just goes back to the fact that Lexus is not known for performance. So when they come out with these performance cars, they aren't really good at advertising them or showing them off, and they lack in the performance area compared to a lot of other cars. But I do believe that they're a good mix of performance and luxury and reliability, which is what Lexus is all about. The question is, would I personally get this car? I was thinking about it in the past, and I mean, for that price range, let's say I wanted to spend $60,000 for a good condition one, I'd rather get a C8 Corvette. Now, if the C8 Corvette didn't come out with how fast it is, like it's a 0 to 60 of 2.9 seconds, which is pretty crazy for the amount that you're spending on that car. If it was over $100,000, then 100% I would get the LC500, because honestly, I don't think that the LC500 is that much of a upgrade compared to an F car. I mean, compared to my RCF, they're basically the same exact speed, they have the same motor, and sure, the LC500 may look a little bit better than this car, but I don't believe that's going to be a completely different experience like jumping into a Corvette. So I'm sure I betrayed some of you Lexus guys out there, but I'd probably either go the C8 Corvette route or get an AMG, especially the C63S. That thing is amazing looking, has an amazing sound with a turboed V8, and it can make a lot of power. And with every single car that I purchase, I want to do a pretty big upgrade. So if I were to upgrade from this RCF, I'd probably get something that's around $20,000 to $30,000 more. And don't get me wrong, you guys, the LC500 is an amazing all-around car, but it just depends on what you want. If you want something that's reliable, looks good, decently fast, then that's a great car for you. But if you want the best bang for your buck in terms of performance, then it's not that good of an option, and the market reflects that. And I hardly ever see LC500s on the road. I maybe will see them once or twice a month, but compared to all the other Lexuses out there, they're a great spot. And unless they do some amazing performance modifications or change this car drastically in the future, I don't really see me purchasing one or seeing the market for them go up, because you guys know how Lexus is. They don't really do upgrades with their cars. They maybe will modify the taillights and the headlights, but that's about it. But let me know down in the comment section, would you buy this car? And if not, what alternatives would you purchase? Because I truly believe that this car is in the supercar realm, especially for a Japanese car. It has the amazing looks, amazing sound, amazing interior, and it looks better than a lot of other supercars out there for a fraction of the price. But with that, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.